Hi everyone, hope you're all keeping well. You're very welcome to join me here today. I'm tying up Sparkle Duns here today, and this is a little fly I'm tying up. Cracking little fly, great little all-rounder fly, so it is. Originally invented by a gentleman called Craig Matthews from Montana. He came up with this fly I think as far back as the early 1980s. But it's a great all-round little fly, and what this fly represents is the fly at the stage where it's hatching from the nymph to its fly, but the hatch or the transformation hasn't taken place as planned or as it's supposed to, and basically the fly is trapped in its shook. Now the shook is what they call is the name for what we call for the skin, basically. So the shell that the fly hatches out of, when they get stuck in it, it's we call that the shook. So that's what it represents. And look, it happens to a lot of flies. It's quite common, and having a fly that can represent that stage is important, because when the trout are on that, you want to be capturing that moment. So having a fly in your box that can capture that is important. Now they get stuck for many different reasons. Like the wings don't unfold properly, or they might get stuck in the casing while they're trying to hatch out. There's loads of different things, but by all intents and purposes, the fly becomes disabled in the shook, and it never truly makes an adult fly. So and that's it comes quite vulnerable on the water then, because it's stuck, and that's what the trout seem to attack the whole time. So very good fly. It's a great all-round little fly. Now it can be tied up in any colour to represent a vast majority of flies, because it happens to every fly in every fly life or every stage. So you can tie them up in cream to represent the pale morning dun or the pale watery spinner. I'm going to tie up an olive here just to represent an olive at the moment. But there's loads of different colours you can tie up. Now they typically work well on size 18s. That's what I have in the vise at the moment. I have a Duhaco 301 dry fly hook. It's a size 18, and the thread I'm using is Kevlar silk. So you always see me use this. Good stuff. And what we want to do is we'll begin by laying down a cover onto the hook. Go all the way down to where the hook starts to bend and come back up. Now a good guide point, we're going to tie in a wing, and a good guide point for tying in a wing is to bring the thread down to the point of the hook, and then what you want to do is bring it halfway back up between the eye and the point, and that will give you a good guide point to tie in your wing. Okay, that's where you generally want to tie in your wing. Now I'm going to for the wing I'm going to use deer hair. So I've got natural deer hair here. I don't know what deer it's from, but I buy it as I see it, as it's a nice coat, nice fur. So I'm just going to cut off a clump. I don't know how best to describe the thickness of the clump to cut, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to stack it. So I want to just clear any of the fibres, and when I say clear any of the fibres, I mean clear the deer hair. So clear the underfur. Sorry, there's underfur in the deer hair. You want to clear that out, because it won't stack properly if you don't. What we're going to do then is put into my deer stacker or hair stacker, and give it a bit of a tap on the table, and you'll end up with that there, so nicely stacked. So tip when you're taking out deer hair, always take it out with your hand that you use to tie your bobbin. That way then you can easily transfer it to your other hand to hold it and put it on the hook, and you don't have to turn or flip the deer hair down, which can unstack it and make it quite untidy. So I'm going to give that a bit of a stack again there. It's not playing about me. That's better. Let's go again. So what happened was when I was trying to take it out there, it became unstacked. So and that can happen. So just gently take it out, easily take it out once you got it then. So I've taken out, this is the hand I've used to take it out of the hair stacker, and then what I can do is just with my other hand is just transfer it. And you're not flipping the deer hair then to, you know, between hands, which results in it becoming unstacked and unneat again. So any broken hairs, just pull them out. You don't want broken hairs in your wing. Now, general rule of thumb is the wing will be the length of the hook shank. So that's the way I like to tie it. So if you're not used to measuring it, that's how you do it. But when you're doing it by eye, I know roughly where to tie it in. So get a couple of wraps around it and tie it down. Okay, now hold it, don't let go of the deer hair at the back. Okay, and just get a couple of wraps and then just take the time just to gently ease them forward, just like that, and then work your way back down the deer hair. Okay. Now you can break it off, deer hair. You can break it off using the thread, or you can cut it. So I like to cut it. So again, just not letting go of any of the hairs. I'm going to come in at a slant, so I'm going to come in and cut down like that. Now I haven't gotten them all, so that's fine. We can go back through it, but it creates that taper that you're going to need, and it doesn't put a step on the fly. Now the deer hair has twisted on me a little bit, but that's not to worry. Don't worry about that, because we can, and it will twist, but we're going to get that in and fix that up now. So just tidying up the back of the fly. Okay. I'm just going to further secure it by putting a wrap tight to the deer hair there. Okay. And then what we can do is we can tidy it up then. So we will tie up the fly. It's going to be quite scruffy looking until we do tidy it up, but the overall result of the fly will be perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to tie in. I'm going to tie in my sparkle or the shuck. And what I'm using for that is I've got this here is Semper Fry Predator Fibers Pure Olive. This is the stuff here, really good stuff, really nice. It's good for making wings and stuff like that. I like to use it for wings and stuff. And what I'm doing is just, I've got a strand pulled out and I've just twisted it. So I'm going to cut off a small clump of it there. So you can see there. So small strand of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to even up the ends. So I'm just going to trim the end and then have it the same length as the wing, and come back up to the top where the wing is, have the same length and tie that in. Then what we can do then is just come back down the body, come under, pull up, and we can trim that away. Now the dubbing I'm going to use is my own blend of dubbing. It's a hare's ear dubbing. It's a light olive. It's not a dark olive, so it's a little bit of a light olive, and I've got a bit of a flash through it. I like to put a flash in my sparkle duns, hence the name, you know. So I like, the sparkle actually comes from what it is the shook on a real fly actually sparkles, catches the light and stuff like that, and that's what sparkles, and that's where the term sparkle duns come from. But keeping with the name of the sparkle dun, I like to tie in a little bit of sparkle onto it. Now this stuff, the Simple Fry, predator fibres, they do catch the light and they do shine, and they're good, but you know, you can never go too wrong by having a bit of extra flash, and I like to have a little bit of flash in my dubbing for my sparkle duns. Now what I've done is I've just dubbed on really thin amount of dubbing onto the thread, onto the hook, or onto the thread, yeah, silk, and I'm just gonna keeping that really thin now, because I've got my profile taper from the deer hair and tying in the fibres, the shook and that, so on the wing. So what I want to do is just keep that now. I don't want to add to that taper, or I don't want to add to that body and make it any bigger, thicker. So I just want to keep that thin now. So the sparsest amount of dubbing is all you want. Just come up tight to that wing, and then what I'm going to do is pull that wing up after pulling me dubbing. Pull that wing up, and I'm going to come in tight to that wing on the front. So a bit more. Need a bit more dubbing. So I'm just pulling off the tiniest amount, as you can see there. It's in my hand. That's, you know, I'm not adding too much. Just keep it sparse. Just dubbing. Less is always more, you know. So you don't want to. It's very easy to overdo it with dubbing, and especially on a fly like this, where you want that delicate profile, and you don't want to have the body massively. Your body's built up, you see, from the deer hair, and it's built up from the synthetic fibres that you use for the wing, for the dubbing, or for the shook and that. So just when you're adding the dubbing, you just want to keep it nice and thin. Now what I'm going to do is I have a Sharpie marker, and it's green, and all I'm going to do now is I just don't want to have a white head at the thread, because the silk is white, is give it a little bit of a green head on it. So that's there, right there. And then we'll whip finish. Thread actually, when I whip finish there, come down over the eye of the hook a little bit, so I just want to just push that back. That's perfect. Now I don't like anything underneath the bottom of the fly on this, because I like it to sit flat on the water, so it's very important that it does. And any stray fibres, trim them away. But that is it, and then you can just splay out your deer hair, splay out your sparkle in within it. It's a little bit thick, that actually shook there on the back, just for the size of the fly. But that's it. You could stay trimming all day, but just the point is, just don't have that too thick. I just trimmed out a little bit at the back of it there. But that's my sparkle done. A really good fly it is. Really good fly it is. And I I use like I said, I will tie these up in loads of different colours. So tie it up for I tie it up in cream, or that for a pale watery spinner, and that keeping it in that there is my olive there, so that represents for me an olive, little olive coming off the water, but really good fly, and one to have. So look, give it a go, guys. There's a little bit of tying in it. Deer hair can be tricky to tie in at times, but it will spin on you, but just once you overcome that, it's easy to get on top of.